What is up, guys, and I'm 01 here, and this is my defense tutorial. A lot of people have been asking for me to give a tutorial on defense, so here it is. First tip is to stay back with your defenders. Your defenders are your last line of defense, so stay back with them. Do not try to be aggressive with them, because if they mess up, your team is going to be wide open in the back, and they're going to be able to score very easily. So here are some examples. Here we have Felipe Santana. He's just going to go backwards and jockey and wait for him to make mistakes. Make the other player make the mistakes. You see him, don't try to pressure him and make him pass the ball, because he's waiting for you to put pressure on him. You just stay back and get in his passing lanes. With the defenders, you never want to be too aggressive, unless if you're sure that the guy is going to start using the sprint button, and then he's gonna have bad touches, so you're gonna be able to come and be aggressive with it and be able to take away the ball. So here's just some more examples of us staying back. Just go with your center back and just go backwards. Do not go forward unless if you're sure. Let the computer do most of the work, guys. The computer is very smart in this game. In defense is very overpowered with the computer. You just have to stay in your lane, stay back, and put them in their lanes. For example, I use a 3-5-2, so I have 3 center backs. So there's one in the left, one in the middle, and one in the right. You just got to make sure they're going backwards and into that lane, so they can take over their lanes and never get beaten. Because if they get beaten, that's when you mess up real bad. Alright, my second tip is for tackling. Tackling is performed by either pressing the O button if you're using the PS3 or the B button if you're using the Xbox 360. So here you're going to see an example of me getting beat. So what you want to do is, if you're getting beat or you feel like you're right next to the person, hold that O button or the B button, and that'll muscle your way. Since usually your defenders are stronger than strikers, you'll be able to muscle your way towards that ball and be able to recover it for your team. And this is extremely helpful if you have been beaten on a breakaway and you have one defender against one striker, and you know that that guy is faster than you. He might be faster than you, but you have the power to be able to nudge him off the ball. Alright, the next tip is defending the cross. Crosses are very powerful in this game, as they always have been, so you have to be able to defend them. So what you want to do is, you have to look at your environment, and you see when the player has the ball up the wings, he either has to cut it back in or he has to cross it. Crosses are more dangerous, so I would recommend that you focus more on stopping the cross. So when you see that the person's at the wing, you switch players to who you feel is the most lethal threat to score. So for example here, David Luiz is going to cover the inner guy. The inner guy is usually, if there's two guys that could get the ball in a cross, guard the inner one, because if he throws it to the farther out one, you have more time to recover, and press and hold that O button to clear the ball away. So the next tip is aggressiveness. Aggressiveness is for center defensive mid. I know in the beginning I said to stay back. Well, if you want to be aggressive with your center defensive mids or your strikers or any midfielders, but do not with your center backs. Remember what I said at the beginning. Center backs stay back in their lanes. So center defensive mids, if you see that the ball is going somewhere and you want to put a little pressure and want to steal it, you can do it with them. You go, you anticipate where he's gonna be. If you see that he's gonna turn right, you take that chance and turn right and cut off that right lane, because you know that your center backs will be behind you. Next tip is jockeying and contain. To play one-on-one defense, you have to jockey and contain. So what I like to do is press L2 and X, or LT and A, and that way you're locked onto the defender, so he can't make sudden movements and trick your defender. So, and once you feel comfortable with knowing what way he's gonna go, because you know he's gonna cut inside, you let go of X or A, and you hold on to LT, and you stay and put where you think he's gonna go. Next tip is to clear the ball. If the ball is in the box, do not try to pass it out. Clear the ball unless if you have a wide open pass. Here you can see that I did not clear it, and that messes it up. Here's another tip. The goalie is another defender, guys. Pass it to him. You won't know how many times I've given up goals because I try to take the ball when the defender is one-on-one, like right here. I try to pass it back towards the midfielder. It just doesn't work. They're going to be able to go on a breakaway. Like here, they almost score, guys. Pass it to the goalie, guys. and then clear the ball with the goalie. Don't try to pass it with the X button or the A button. Just clear it out with either the square or the X button if you're on the 360. Clear the ball, try to put a little bit of power, try to aim at somebody, or if you don't feel comfortable, um, just hold it as hard as you can. And be another example there. Sometimes the guy will pass it with his head, so you got to put a little more power just in case. Another tip is on the goal kick. How do you defend the goal kick when they have a goal kick because you kicked it out of bounds? So what I would like to do, you guys confuse the kicker. Confuse him, and usually when they give up the ball, it's because they pass it to the guy at the far left and they don't even care about it. So here you can see I'm trying to confuse him, trying to make him think, but really what I really want is that far right because that's the one I can take advantage of. Next is when you're on goal kick. This isn't really defense, but it really is helpful because if you kick it to them, it's an easy goal for them. So usually if you don't have anybody, guys, just put full power with the square or the X button depending on your console and get the ball out of there, guys. Don't need to give up a goal because of stupid play. Next here, I'm just going to, guys, alright, those are my tips. This is just going to put them all in action. You're going to see many different types. Staying back. See how he stays back? And then he realizes that he's going to do turbo. He's going to have a bad touch on the ball. So I quickly be aggressive. Even though you shouldn't really do that unless if you feel comfortable with the lead because that was a center back, so it's very risky. Here you're going to see me going backwards. Here I'm going to try to stop the cross. And then I let the computer AI do most of the work. They're very good, and you saw how he could take the ball away. Here it's just classic D. You just keep moving back. Don't try to steal the ball away from the guy, but putting pressure on him. Work the passing lanes. A lot of times, for example, right there where you saw with Balotelli, the guy got the ball in his own box. He quickly wants to get rid of it to go on a break. A lot of people are very impatient and they're just going to pass it. Get in the passing lanes. Forget about going towards the ball and try tackling away from him. Get in the passing lane and usually you'll be able to get in there. Be very patient, guys. It's the key thing in defense. If there's one tip that you must remember is be patient. You don't need the ball every second of every play. You can let them make the mistakes. They're gonna make them. They're gonna try to pass it a lot. People are trying to get the ball from one side to the other. You work those passing lanes. You pay attention to what to do. You will win the game, guys. Stay in the passing lanes. Don't be too over aggressive. If you're losing, you're gonna have to be aggressive. But like I said earlier, do that with your midfielders and strikers. Don't be aggressive ever. I don't care if you're losing by 5. Don't be aggressive with your center backs because that's only going to get you worse. That's only going to make you lose by more. So stay back with your center backs. This is just classic me. Just playing back, being patient. There's no worry. Okay, pass it backwards. Do whatever you're going to do. You're not going anywhere, dude. You're just wasting time, and I'm going to get that ball and do a quick counterattack. Look at that. Just using everything I hear. There I was. He had the corner, so I went in there, tried to stop the cross. So there it is, guys. This is my first real tutorial. I hope you guys like it. I really want support for this, so if you guys could share it, like, subscribe, watch my series of Title Streak where I try to win as many titles as possible without losing. Right now I'm in Division 2. I hope to get more subscribers. Please share this. Send it to people you think might be interested in help for defense. Thank you. Like, comment, subscribe. Thank you guys so much. I really appreciate it.